Today on Community Cooking, we have guest chef Vera Lewis with us making a grilled marinated chicken along with a refreshing cucumber gazpacho. You won't want to miss it. We're cooking with some of the best chefs that are right here from our own community. So grab a chair, sit back and relax because we have another great meal coming at you in under 30 minutes. This is your Community Cooking. Welcome to Community Cooking. I'm your host, Maria Prekeges, and I'm always excited to have my guest and friend and chef, Vera Lewis, back in our kitchen.
Hi, happy to be back.
We love having you here. Everything is always so colorful, healthy, and you love the farmer's market.
I do love the farmer's market because I can get everything there. I can get my meats, my breads, my vegetables, and if I don't have time to cook, I can even let them cook for me.
See, we love them. So today we're going to make a grilled marinated chicken and then a cold cucumber gazpacho.
Correct.
I love it because gazpacho is usually tomato-based.
Right. It's a typical Italian summer soup that you don't have to cook it, which we love not cooking. And
love not cooking.
You know, the kitchen doesn't get hot in the summer, so this is very cooling. It's very healthy, and usually it's made with tomatoes, but I recently found out I'm allergic to tomatoes. Sad face. So
bad news for you, good news for me because cucumbers are my favorite veggie.
So I've learned how to make it with lots of vegetables. You can make it with a lot of fresh vegetables just to your own taste and experiment with it.
I love it. I love it. And it's great in the summer, but in the winter, especially here in Southern California, it's a great treat.
Oh, yeah. We have these weird heat days.
We do. It's 80 in January. I'm like, it's winter?
So we're in the perpetual summer place here. Yeah. So learn to make your gazpachos, folks.
I love it. So we're going to start with the grilled chicken and the marinade. Okay, tell me, there aren't a lot of ingredients, which I love. Simple is good.
Simple is great. We're not using oil, which a lot of people are going to be surprised by. I'm going to use the vinegar, my garlic. We've got parsley, and because if I'm putting garlic, I'm always putting parsley.
I know, I love. If you don't know Vera, if there's garlic, she must use parsley.
That's the way I was brought up. So they're inseparable, but they also keep you from having distress, and we don't like distressful tummies.
We do not.
So we're going to take some cilantro.
And this is great because you're using a little mixer blender, but you don't have to chop it up.
No.
Just rip it off.
Tear little pieces. We're not going to overstuff, and you don't want to pack it down.
Okay.
And can we reach the garlic?
We can reach the garlic. Big old cloves. How many? And you don't even have to.
Nope. And I'm going to stop with one, or do you want it more garlicky?
She looks at me. She knows I'm Greek. No, we'll stop at one. We might have to talk to each other later, so we'll stop at one.
We'll stop at one.
Right.
This is this is white wine vinegar.
Okay.
I use a lot of rice wine vinegar, so I get them confused. But this is white wine vinegar, which has a different tannin, and it's going to have a sweeter flavor.
I was going to say, explain that to me, but you just did. I have a lemon. Would you like half of it?
Yes. We're going to have half of that. We're going to use that to keep this bright and cheerful.
Okay. One thing I love about cooking with you is everything, whether it's a steak that rests or things are bright and cheerful, it is fun in the kitchen, and it's what everyone should have.
So we're going to put this together.
That's it. Marinade. No oil.
No oil.
And we're going to blend it up. A little shake, a little more blending. Oh, that thing works great.
Yeah. And then you've got this wonderful little marinade here.
It almost looks like pesto, yet it is not.
Yet it is not. See, it's more thin.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're just going to put that on our chicken.
Oh, yum. Look at that.
And that's just going to get dumped on there. And I'm going to use my tongs to kind of spread it around, get them nicely coated.
And we're using chicken breast, which I love.
Yeah, chicken breast is very lean. A lot of people prefer it because it's healthier.
Yeah,
this happens to be from a locally farmed chicken, which we love. It was farmed nicely and had a nice life, and now it's going to be a nice dinner.
And now it's going to be a nice dinner. It was a nice chicken. So we just mix it around a little.
Just to get it coated.
Yeah.
Because we do want to get as much of that goodness on there as possible.
It smells so good.
Now,
and no oil. I love that.
Ideally, we would be letting this sit.
For about how long would you want the marinade to sit in?
A minimum of an hour.
Okay.
Maximum of a day. Let's see if I can.
And with chicken, okay, here's my question. Do you wash it? Pat it dry? I've heard a couple things on this. If you're
I'm not a big fan of the wash and pat dry.
Okay.
Neither is the Food and Drug Administration.
okay, good to know.
Because it splatters and spreads the salmonella all over your kitchen.
Oh, okay.
So if you go in there later with a black light, you'll see what you did.
Well, and they say now if you cook it up thoroughly and you don't let it sit out, it's going to be okay.
Yeah. But we're just going to,
I coated that a little bit more
yeah,
for you.
we've got it more coated. We're going to let this get a little hot.
Now, how did you come up with this recipe?
My mother-in-law is my favorite person. And
Do you not love that?
she has very strict diet. She doesn't eat any carbs. She really watches her fat intake. So everything I can do to make it work for her so that when she comes to visit, she can have a meal that she doesn't have to think twice about.
People, they have her husband's here, great marriage, great mother-in-law, and you know, catering to them is fabulous. I love it.
They're my favorite people. You've got that nice
And you
sear.
don't even need to oil your cast iron griddle pan.
Nope.
I love it. And you want it hot, medium hot for chicken?
I like to have it hot,
Okay.
and watch it because it's going to cook in about 6 minutes.
Okay, that's
And
good.
I did split these chicken breasts so that they're thinner, and that's what's going to help it cook faster. But you didn't get to see that.
That's all right. It's magic.
That's chef's magic on the
It's
backstage.
chef's magic for sure. And you don't want to undercook chicken because of the potential salmonella and stuff, but you don't want to
Right.
overcook it. So how do
Right.
we know when it's right?
We want to watch it to become opaque before we flip it. Opaque,
Okay.
giving it that kind of almost translucence. And as it comes more white, we'll flip it and we'll have it all grilled up. So it
See-
does take about a total, like I said, 6 to 7 minutes.
Okay, total, which
So
is
if you're
nice.
thinking about it and you time it, I have a friend who times using music. So she'll put a song on and she knows this song is 3 minutes. So that 3-minute song is the first half of her chicken.
Okay, that is fantastic.
So all kinds of little tricks and tips you can come up with. You don't always have to use a timer. Have fun when you're cooking.
There is no sad kitchen when it comes to Vera Lewis. There's no sad anything, which is so much fun. And you should have fun cooking.
Oh, absolutely. We should.
So that little piece of chicken's gonna marinate a little. So tell me your history. I mean, you have so many great tips. You love to cook. You're a positive person. But you don't do this for a living. You do partial for a living, but you have a whole other life too.
Yeah.
How did you get into cooking?
I've been cooking really, literally since I was probably 3.
Really?
My grandparents had a farm, and I used to help my grandma cook in the kitchen when we'd be feeding the ranch hands. And my uncle is a trained chef, and he taught me a bunch of tricks. And then I went to culinary school when I grew up. So I just love, love, love food.
What is it about cooking? Does it relax you? Do you like, I mean, I'm Greek, you're Jewish. We like to feed people and entertain. I get that aspect. But what is it about cooking and serving people great food that makes you happy?
Food is a celebration. It's constantly a celebration. I don't care if it's a celebration at the end of the workday or the beginning of the workday. You are celebrating being with people, the people you love. I make a big meal. I serve everyone. Everyone talks. Everyone laughs. It's great. When you're sitting in a good big Greek, we all saw my Greek wedding,
Yeah.
right? Everybody's loud and they laugh. And in Jewishes, they're the same way. We all
Yeah.
sit around, we laugh, we eat, and that's the thing. It's the thing that binds us. We all have to eat.
Yeah, true.
So we want to make it simple, we want to make it beautiful, we want to make it fun. I was raised with very elaborate dishes. And I try to take as many steps and fats out of them as possible.
And make it easy because in today's world, everyone is so busy that to keep that group together, and we call it parea, family, extended family, friends, it's hard to do. Everyone's on their cell phone, but if you get in a kitchen,
Oh,
no
yeah.
matter what your nationality, religion, whatever, it brings people together.
Oh, absolutely. What's really funny to me is that my son was having an argument with me one day that I never taught him to cook.
Okay,
And-
I'm going to be on your side on this one.
The irony of me not teaching him how to cook
Yeah.
was that he was making a ramen burger while he was telling me I never taught him how to cook.
You're like, let's see.
You're doing this from scratch from a recipe, and I never taught you anything in the kitchen.
Yeah, that is. And I think it's so important too, like he was around you, obviously, growing up, cooking, to learn the basics. When kids go off to college, when, you want to impress someone, men or women, it's good to know how to cook.
Oh, absolutely. And just that they can sit down and say, I'm going to use these ingredients for this reason.
Yeah.
And they know what these ingredients are for. But they're not afraid to use them for something else because there's no reason you can't take these lovely parsley greens and cilantro greens, toss them in your salad.
Well, that's what people too. I know we're going to do some gazpacho,
Yeah.
which is fruit based, which is great. And it's like, just use more of it, whether it's in a salad or throw it here. And I always say, whatever you have in your refrigerator, make it work. You might
Yeah.
not think you can,
Oh, absolutely.
but you can.
You can find a use for everything.
That chicken is smelling so good. Even with barely marinating it, it's smelling awesome.
Yeah, so see, this one is still a little too thick, so
Okay.
it's not cooking as fast as the thin one, but you can see that the thin one is really cooking quickly and
Yeah.
all the way through.
Oh, it smells so good. Do you have a favorite recipe? Not to put you on the spot, besides this one right here, because it's going to be great.
No, not really. I'm constantly changing my recipes, which drives my family a little crazy. And my daughter-in-law's like, please write that down so I have it just this way. Because the next time I make it, I'm going to do something different. I'm
You
going
keep
to,
it exciting and fun.
yeah, I'm always trying to keep it fresh and different and not bore myself with my food.
You could never be boring, nor will your food be boring.
Now-
So, no more lemon on it, no more anything, we just let it go.
We're just going to let it go. And it looks like it's drying out, but it's not.
Okay,
I mean,
that's
again,
what I was just going to say.
the marinade, what this is going to do is, I don't know if you've ever had huli chicken that they make in Hawaii.
Yes.
Okay, the marinade's going to give it that same kind of barky texture, but not dry.
Okay.
And without the salt, because huli, as we know, is made with a
Yeah.
ton of soy sauce.
No, and all your stuff is super healthy, which I appreciate. Well, while that's going to just finish up cooking, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because we have cucumber gazpacho. I can't wait coming up. You don't want to miss it.
I see my friends out there getting waves and talking about them, and I know exactly what they're doing and what they're feeling and everything. It's like, it's hard. I was diagnosed when I was 57. It was a surprise to me when they told me I had MS. It's like, you sure?
Well, the idea is this is a 360-degree virtual reality camera rig. Steve hasn't been able to ride a wave in way too many years, so now I'm going to ride a wave and we get to share it with him. Well, we're going to do something.
Just put that on your head. Whoa. Oh, this is unreal. Coming up, coming up, coming up. Boom. Nice. Nice. This is fantastic.
Yeah, let me set it up and you get another
Set it up.
ride.
Let's do that again.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. If you're just joining us, my friend and guest chef Vera Lewis is here. We just took the marinated chicken out, and I want to show everyone this is how you knew it was done. The liquid is very clear right there.
Yeah, juices run clear, and that's preferable for chicken all the time. But you'll see that there was no oil on the pan, and there are
Yeah.
still juices in the chicken.
I was going to say, I just messed up the plate because there are juices. So we plated one up. You always like to make it look pretty, a little garnish. And so now she's going to test me with my cutting skills. So, little
Yeah.
angle.
Actually, you're going to want to go
See, she's done.
this way
Okay.
to cut it, so that they're nice bite-sized
So there, oh,
pieces.
see, I was going to, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, so that they're easier on the...
This way.
So-
Okay. And then a little bit at an angle.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that chicken is cooked perfectly. Oh, it smells so good. Look, I'm already, all right. I got to turn it. That piece will be for me later. But we're getting there. It smells so good. So you can either maybe serve it cut up or a little bit,
Yeah, depending on who you're serving. Some people like to cut it themselves. Let them.
let them. I just wanted to test my culinary cutting skills. Not so good, but I'm learning. All right, well, that smells delicious. We're going to let that rest a little with us and become happy. Not that it needs to, because I want to go on to the cucumber gazpacho. So first off, tell me what ingredients we're using.
Well, we've got fresh cucumber. We've got green garlic, which is it's seasonal, so you can only get it for the very first
Okay,
part
and
of the
this
spring. Is a
Is
green garlic. This is what garlic looks like before it's dried out. Isn't that pretty?
And then it becomes,
That's our
this.
dry garlic.
I love that. I've never seen green garlic.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll look at it and you think, is that a Mexican onion? It's not,
Yeah.
because you can see that it's segmented just like a garlic.
Oh yeah, you can see the cloves.
And so when you cut it open, you can see the cloves.
So what's the difference? Is this as pungent as the other, or?
It depends on where it comes from. It can be a little sharper, but it can also be a little sweeter. So you kind of, it's a shoot.
It's a crapshoot. You can say that on TV.
Yeah, so, but if you smell it, you can tell it's garlic. It's just milder.
Oh yeah,
This
it
one's
is
a milder
milder,
garlic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is garlic. All right, so we have cucumbers. Can you use the bigger English cucumbers or these?
You can use the English cucumber or the Persian cucumber. What you're looking for is seed size. If you use a regular cucumber with the gigantic seeds, you're going to
Yeah.
wind up with a mess. It's not going to look as pretty, and you're going to be choking on seeds.
We don't want that. So because you want the seeds in the gazpacho.
Right, so we're not going to de-seed it because the
Okay.
seeds are very tiny in these.
Okay.
If you're going to use a regular cucumber, please de-seed it.
Please de-seed it.
Or you're going to wind up with all these things stuck to your tongue
So
and your throat.
these are the Persian.
These are Persian cucumbers.
Okay, Persian cucumbers. All right, and then this.
Is a Maui onion, and that actually happens to be an heirloom Maui onion. And it's always an adventure to go to the farmer's market because she had obviously just pulled it up this morning. It was so covered in dirt.
It didn't look like this.
We
when
tidied
Vera
it
got
up a little bit.
We like it. And lemon.
Lemon, because it's going to make it bright and pretty. We've got vinegar, because that's going to give us a little bit more acid, which we like. The cilantro, and because I'm using garlic, I will always use parsley because they're best friends.
I
And
love it. And then spinach.
Spinach.
Is going in our salad.
Spinach
or
is going
soup.
in our soup, and it's going to puree in there, and it's going to be lovely, and it's going to just be bright and green and cheerful.
Okay, before we get started, Vera has to share. Whenever she uses garlic, you use parsley because your mother did, but there's a cute story behind it that you have to share.
I heard a story that garlic and parsley were husband and wife. Well, parsley obviously being the wife. So, when they died, the gods blessed them that they should always be together. Now, obviously, you can eat parsley on her own because she's a woman, she's independent, but always have garlic with parsley or he will come back at you.
I'm sorry, that is the best. Parsley, independent, can be on her own. There you go.
Like a good wife, right?
Exactly, exactly. And then what's in the jar?
Oh, we have chicken stock.
Okay, chicken stock. So if you're a vegetarian, could you use vegetable broth?
Absolutely.
Okay, I like chicken, and you have, whenever Vera's on, you have a ton of jars, mason
Oh,
jars,
I love
every
my
type of
mason
jars.
Yeah, love them.
Reuse them and leak proof. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
They travel so well. And now they even make, I love this. I should have brought one to show you, but they make these little lids that are sippy cups.
I'm not going there because I know what I would use that for.
So you can take that on the road and drink your iced tea
That is
while
awesome.
you're driving. It's really cool.
Awesome.
So, but
Okay.
yeah, I love my mason jars, and they're just something I grew up with, and I just love having lots of them around because they're
Yeah.
so useful.
They are really useful. I mean, you could do candles in it. Tons of
Yeah.
uses. So what should we start? We have a blender this time.
We're starting with the liquid.
Okay.
You start, anytime you're going to put something in a blender, you start with your liquid. Because
I've done
otherwise,
the opposite. Doesn't work.
it makes too much noise, and it goes rawr, 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 and doesn't really effectively do anything.
Okay.
So then you have to
Makes
open it up
sense.
and get your spatula and try to push it around.
Yeah, and you get into the nitty gritty. It doesn't work.
Yeah. So we don't want to do that.
I will testify to that.
So then we're just going to chop things roughly. They don't have to be cut fine because they're going into a blender.
See, easy, easy, easy.
And I will show you a funny little trick that I learned from a friend.
I was like, you just cut that off. What are you doing there?
Well, I'm supposedly removing the part that makes it gassy. And on some cucumbers, it's much more prevalent, and a white wax comes up. These don't have as much of that white wax, so it's not as impressive. But when you see it, try it on one of those waxier cucumbers.
Yeah.
You'll see like a ring of white is extracted out of it, and I don't know
And
why
just,
that is.
Like, do you have to do both ends?
You just do the one. You do the one end that was the
Crazy.
flowering end.
Okay. That is crazy. And see, these seeds are not very big,
Yeah, these have very, very small seeds, so they're going to totally liquefy.
which is great.
And I love the smell of this cucumber.
Cucumber is my favorite, favorite, favorite. My niece and I, we have to go buy, 10 English cucumbers when I come to visit.
Well, these ones are so nice because they're just like a little snack. Some
Yeah.
people call them snacking cucumbers.
We snack, we eat them, we put them in salad, we eat them plain, anything and everything. So that's why I was so excited about this one, this gazpacho today. So cut them in half, maybe quarters, and skins and all go in. That's
Yep.
why we love blenders.
It's going to be bright and cheerful.
Everything is bright and cheerful when you are around, which I love.
And
I
we're
love.
going to use part of the onion. We're not going to use all of the onion because
Okay.
onion can be a very strong flavor.
Yep. Now the Maui onions, are they sweeter?
They're a little bit sweeter,
It smells like
They're
onion
not
bell.
as oniony, so
Yeah.
this is going to be a little bit nicer on the palate. It's not
Won't
going to
make
be
me-
as sharp.
Won't make me cry.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take your spares.
So we're
Oh,
gonna do
yeah,
that.
that's a nice onion.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
got a nice, fresh, clean smell. We're going to toss some parsley in here. And because we're going into a blender, it's going to do its thing.
Easy, easy, easy.
And some cilantro.
Some cilantro, which I love. Yeah, so when parsley's on your plate as a garnish, you can eat it.
Absolutely, you should.
Isn't
eat
it
it.
supposed to give you better breath too?
Yeah.
Not that I would know that, but
And then you want to throw like a handful of spinach in there.
again, I'm like, what are we missing? Okay.
You can use as much or as little as you want. I mean, that's, again, you're cooking at home. You're doing this yourself, so.
And experimenting in the kitchen is how to go. If it doesn't turn out, give your guests more wine. It doesn't matter.
That's right. It's California. We've got lots of wine.
We do. Give them a lemonade. Give them more drinks. It's okay. And of course, you're squeezing the lemon over your hand so you get no seeds.
Yeah, so you got to cut the seeds.
Yeah.
And we're putting in lemon and vinegar, because the vinegar is going to bring a different flavor.
And this is, what kind of vinegar?
This is white wine vinegar.
Okay. So just pour it right on top.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I would never think all of this was in any sort of soup, let alone gazpacho.
Now, I'm not using salt and pepper, but if you're a big salt and pepper fan, you can.
I like to add it if you want it. Too many times we sit at the table. I've seen so many people in restaurants even. And they get there, and before they even taste it, they salt and pepper it. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, they're not giving the food a chance to sing.
We're giving it a chance. It's going to sing. It's going to be our #1 hit.
That's going to go on as a garnish afterwards.
Okay, I'm like ready for the Greek yogurt.
I love Greek yogurt.
All right, so we're going to blend. All
Okay,
right,
so
we're
are we
gonna blend
ready?
it. We're ready to blend.
We're going to start with pulsing just to get it going. And that's going to start pulling everything down.
We're going to pulse it for a little rhythm. We have a couple rogue spinach at the top, but that's okay.
They're going in.
But really, everything
Yeah.
comes together.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's gazpacho.
Okay. Well, easy, easy. I love it. I love it. So besides the tomato gazpacho, which unfortunately you can't have anymore, cucumber, what else could people put in this or maybe a whole other flavor?
Actually, you can do an entirely different flavor. My mother-in-law is a big fan of the watermelon gazpacho. You make that with watermelon, fresh lemon, and mint, and it comes out beautifully. And you can serve that as a dessert gazpacho. You
Well, I
can,
was going to say that almost might be sweet like a dessert.
or you can serve it with your grilled pork dish. You know, because it's going to have the pork has that really strong barbecue flavor.
Yeah.
And then to cool it off, serve a watermelon gazpacho. Melon's great for gazpacho.
I
So-
love it. And these two together, besides the color, they match, which we love. Why do you choose this chicken with this marinade with the cucumber gazpacho?
The flavor profiles are similar, so they're going to match each other really well. Again, I'm not serving it with a carb because of my lovely mother-in-law, but you could serve it up with some lovely croutons made with sourdough or
Okay.
French bread and a little bit of cheese and olive oil on there. That'll be nice.
That wouldn't be too bad. I'd let you do that next time you come in. But I mean, you love, talk a little bit too about the farmer's market. You love it because you can find so much there.
Yeah, when you go there, I wouldn't have known what this is unless I asked her. I picked it up and I was looking at it and it looked interesting. And oh, she goes, this is an heirloom Maui onion and they're certified heirloom, which means they found the seeds in some kind of a circumstance and found that they could still grow. So these are an old seed. They weren't new seeds. They've been in storage for probably 50, 60 years.
Wow.
So that's always really neat to eat heirloom something. And so this tells you this is what it was like. You know, we even have heirloom vegetables and fruits that date back for centuries.
See, that's what's amazing to me. And they're still around.
And they're still there. And they were just stored beautifully and they can be used. Or like these little cucumbers. You find out, you ask them, well, are these pickles? And they're like, no, no, no. No, these aren't pickles. They'll even cut them open for you and let you see that they've got these tiny seeds and let you sample it. And it's just great. And you say, oh, how do I know a good lemon? You know, and they'll talk you through it.
Well, and I think besides learning about all the fruits, vegetables, the meats, the breads, everything they have there, they're great for recipe help too.
Oh, absolutely.
That's where I need. That's why I host the show so people like Vera can come in and teach me.
Yeah. So if you don't know what something is, like when I first moved to California, I didn't know what cilantro was.
Yeah.
I thought somebody put soap in the salsa.
Soap in the salsa? No, it's cilantro.
Oh, and my friends were like, no, that's the best stuff. It's cilantro. And so I had to learn what it was and how to use it. But when I went to the farmer's market and you talk to them and they go, oh, you can put it in your salad, you can do this and you can do that, and it's used in Asian cooking. And I was like, what? You know?
No, it's such a great resource. The farmer's market, of course, you're such a great resource, and I can't wait to taste anything, and we're going to get to that right when we come back, so don't go anywhere.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our technical skills, our math, our engineering skills. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our organizational skills, our problem-solving skills. You're going to need our determination, our honesty, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
Welcome back to the show. Well, Vera, you know that this is probably my favorite part. I have fork, knife, and spoon for our wonderful grilled marinated chicken, and then I'll move on to the gazpacho. I'm going to go chicken first. Is that all right?
That's fine. There is no right or wrong when eating.
Ugh. Okay, that is so good.
And there's no oil and there's no salt and pepper.
Okay, that you don't need it. Okay, the marinade, I have to go for bite number 2. It is, and it's tender. It's not dry. I mean, I'm a little skeptical, but I was like, really? It's so moist.
Yeah. It's amazing how well it works out.
Oh,
I think that's because of the natural oils in the vegetables too, that they kind of just bring something to the party and you're not letting them dissipate.
oh. And you put a little Greek yogurt on the soup.
Mm-hmm.
Do I try to get a little bit of everything
Yeah, a
in
little
there?
bit of everything.
Okay. Yum. Taste a little bit of that garlic, but it's not too overpowering. The cucumbers, of course, make it light, refreshing. I would do this 12 months a year. I
Yeah,
would
it's
eat
just-
this.
It's really bright. I love the color. It's like a garden party, you know? It's like,
It is a garden party, and I would continue this, but we're out of time, so sorry. Thank you so much for coming in. It is
My
always
pleasure.
such a treat. We love having you here.
my pleasure.
It's good, it's healthy, it's fun. Thank all of you for watching, and we really do encourage you, make this at home, easy and great. For the entire crew, myself, and of course, my friend and guest chef, Vera Lewis, thanks for tuning in. And remember, we have all these fabulous chefs right here in our local community. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Community Cooking.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200 in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCityCable and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.